You might think you are eating to stay healthy, but in reality, you could be pumping toxins into your brain every single week. And the cruelest part is this: you do not feel anything at the moment. Not until one day, you forget a very familiar name, and then you quietly blame it on aging. Tonight, I am going to show you what is really hiding inside that seemingly innocent piece of fish on your plate. But before you rush to cut all seafood out of your meals, slow down. This is not a video meant to scare you away from fish. This is guidance on how to eat it the right way. Because after the age of 60, your body no longer handles mistakes as easily as it used to. You have heard the saying that eating fish is good for your heart and your memory, right? That is true, but it is only half of the truth. The other half is something many people do not like to say out loud. Some types of fish can actually put more strain on your heart, wear down your brain, and quietly increase inflammation in your body, like a small fire burning under the floor, with no smoke and no sound, until it is too late. And here is the trap that many Americans over 60 fall into every single week. They do not choose fish based on how clean it is, or how much toxin it tends to accumulate. They choose based on price, habit, or that comforting word, healthy, printed on the package. Let me be very clear so you do not have to guess. Among dozens of common fish, there are 3 you should avoid, like fire. And there are 3 you should prioritize. If you want to keep your mind sharp, reduce inflammation, protect your heart, and stay independent for longer. But I am not asking you to believe me blindly. I am only asking you to do one thing. Listen until the end. Because the most dangerous fish is usually not the expensive or rare one. It is the one you think is the safest. And there is one more thing. In the next part, I will show you how to spot the right choice quickly at the grocery store. You only need to look at one detail on the label to know whether to put it back or drop it into your cart. You will want to know what that detail is, because it has saved many people from eating the wrong fish for years without ever realizing it. Before we move on, leave a quick comment below. What type of fish do you eat most often during the week? And where do you usually buy it? At the supermarket? At a restaurant? Or canned? I read the comments and choose the most common ones to answer specifically. Because sometimes changing just one small choice can dramatically reduce your risk. If this is your first time here, here is what I do. I give you clear, practical guidance based on evidence and real life, not fear tactics and not turning food into a miracle cure. You do not need to change your entire life overnight. You just need to stop repeating a few common mistakes. Now let us begin. In part 1, I will go straight into the 3 worst fish for people over 60. These are the types that tend to accumulate mercury and other toxins, sharply increase inflammation, or come with risks that an aging body handles very poorly. But here is the first thing I want you to keep in mind. Why do some people eat fish regularly and still see their memory decline quickly, while others eat fish just as often and stay more alert, with less joint pain? It is not luck. And it is not because they exercise more. It comes down to the type of fish and one small detail that most people never look at. Keep going, because in just a few minutes, you will realize this. There is one type of fish that millions of Americans still eat because it is cheap and convenient. But after 60, your body pays a much higher price than you might think. Part 1. 3 types of fish you should avoid after the age of 60. Number 3. The fish that is cheap, easy to find, but costly later. Farmed tilapia. Let me ask you this. Have you ever bought tilapia because it has a mild smell, low fat, and is advertised as being good for your health? A lot of people nod, yes, and that is exactly where the trouble begins. Farmed tilapia is not toxic in the sense that it causes immediate poisoning. It is dangerous in a different way. It slowly pushes your body into inflammation week after week, quietly, gradually, without obvious pain, until your joints feel stiffer, your heart feels more tired, and your thinking becomes less clear. The problem is not the fish itself. The problem is how it is raised. Most tilapia sold in the United States is farmed at extremely high densities. The fish swim in cramped spaces, in cloudy water filled with waste, to prevent massive die-offs. Farmers are forced to use antibiotics, antifungal drugs, and chemicals to control disease. Those substances do not disappear. They go straight into the flesh of the fish, and then straight into you. But that is still not the worst part. The real hit comes from the fat profile. Farmed tilapia is extremely high in omega-6 fats and very low in omega-3 fats. After the age of 60, this is an open invitation to chronic inflammation. Inflammation is not loud. It does not warn you, but it is directly linked to joint pain, plaque buildup in the arteries, blood sugar that becomes harder to control, and memory decline. Think of it this way. You eat fish to fight inflammation, but farmed tilapia actually feeds that inflammatory fire a little more every week. And here is the irony. Many people choose tilapia because they believe they are eating something lighter and easier on the body than red meat. In reality, for a body over 60, it can trigger a stronger inflammatory response than some processed meats. If you remember only one thing from this section, remember this. Farmed tilapia does not make you healthier. It only makes problems progress more slowly and harder to notice. But wait, the next type is even more dangerous because this one goes straight after your brain. Number 2. The fish that is always in the kitchen cabinet. Tuna, especially large tuna, and frequently eaten canned tuna. This is the fish that surprises most people because tuna has been stamped as healthy for decades. But after the age of 60, the story changes completely. Tuna is a large predator fish. It lives a long time. It eats many smaller fish. And over that long lifespan, mercury builds up little by little inside its body. When you eat tuna, that mercury does not simply pass through and leave. It travels to the brain. It enters the nervous system. And it stays there. In younger people, the liver and kidneys are still fast enough to process part of it. In older adults, detoxification slows down. That turns mercury into a long-term saboteur. The early signs are easy to miss. You forget names more often. You feel more irritable. It is harder to concentrate. There is a sense that your mind is not as sharp as it used to be. Many people think this is just aging, but no. In many cases, it is the diet that is quietly pulling you down. And here is what makes tuna especially dangerous. It is often eaten repeatedly in sandwiches, in salads, and as quick canned meals. Mercury does not need a large amount. It only needs consistency. I am not saying you can never touch tuna again. But if you are over 60 and eating tuna every week, especially white tuna or larger tuna species, that is a gamble where your brain ends up paying the price. And now we come to the final one. The type that health authorities clearly warn about. The type that if you are still eating it after 60, it is no longer about lacking information. It is about placing yourself directly in the danger zone. Number 1. The most dangerous fish after the age of 60. King mackerel. If there is one type of fish I want you to remember by name and avoid completely, it is king mackerel. This is not the small, common mackerel people often think of. King mackerel is a large predator fish. It lives a long time and sits high up in the ocean food chain. and that makes it a storage tank for mercury. Just a few servings a month can be enough to push mercury levels in an older adult's body beyond what is considered safe. The damage does not show up right away. It creeps in slowly. Hand tremors, slight loss of balance, trouble sleeping, mood changes, memory decline. And once again, many people mistake these signs for normal aging. But mercury is not a natural part of aging. It is a heavy metal that is toxic to the nervous system. Both the FDA and the EPA give a very clear warning. Older adults should completely avoid king mackerel. Not eat less of it. Not eat it once in a while. Avoid it entirely. What makes this especially dangerous is that king mackerel is often sold under the generic name mackerel. If you do not ask specific questions, you could be eating it without even realizing it. If the three fish we just talked about can quietly damage your memory, your heart, and your joints, then the real question is this: which fish can actually do the opposite? The good news is, there are some, and they are not rare. They are not expensive, and you do not need to shop at specialty stores to find them. In part 2, I will show you the 3 best fish for people over 60. These are the ones that help reduce inflammation, protect the brain, preserve muscle, and help you stay independent for longer. And especially, the number 1 fish on that list has one key feature. Once you learn to spot it at the grocery store, you will immediately think, this is the safe choice. Part 2. 3 types of fish that help your body recover after the age of 60 now. Take a deep breath. After all the warnings you have just heard, this is the part many people have been waiting for. Not to eat just because it tastes good. Not to eat fish simply for the sake of having fish on the plate, but to eat in a way that helps your body calm inflammation, clears some of that mental fog, and keeps your strength from fading too soon. The 3 types of fish you are about to hear are not miracle cures, but if you choose them wisely and eat them consistently, they work like a quiet maintenance system for your brain, your heart, your muscles, and your joints. We start with the one that gets the least attention, yet is extremely well suited for people over 60. Number 3. The fish that is gentle on the surface, but strong at the core. Wild-caught cod. If you have always thought that healthy fish has to be fatty and full of oil, let that idea go for a moment. After the age of 60, what your body needs is not more, but what is right and easy to use, and wild-caught cod does this exceptionally well. The first strength of cod is its clean protein. It does not feel heavy in your stomach. It is not high in fat, but it provides enough high-quality protein to support your muscles, which is something we naturally lose with age if we do not replenish it properly. When muscles weaken, the first thing you lose is not strength itself. You lose confidence when walking, your ability to keep balance, and slowly, your independence. Cod helps slow that chain reaction. But what truly makes cod valuable lies in a mineral that many people over 60 are lacking: selenium. Selenium does not make noise. It does not give you an immediate boost of energy. Instead, it works at the cellular level, helping reduce oxidative stress, protect the brain, and support the thyroid. Simply put, selenium helps your cells age more slowly. Wild-caught cod also has a major advantage. It lives in cold, clean waters, and it does not have a very long lifespan, which means it accumulates far fewer heavy metals. For older adults, this matters a great deal. If you have ever felt that fatty fish is hard to digest or leaves you feeling heavy, cod is a stomach-friendly option that still delivers real nutritional value. But do not stop here. The next fish is much smaller, yet its impact has made many people rethink what the term superfood really means. Number 2. The fish that is small but does big work. Sardines. Sardines are not pretty. They are not fancy. They are not displayed to look impressive. But if there is one fish that the body of someone over 60 immediately recognizes as beneficial, it is sardines. The first reason is real omega-3 fats. Not the kind of omega-3 you just see on a label, but the kind that actually helps shut down inflammation from the inside. Inflammation is what makes joints stiff, blood vessels less flexible, and the brain work more slowly. Sardines do not dance around that issue. They directly intervene. The second reason sardines are especially suitable for older adults is their low position in the food chain. They eat plankton. They do not eat larger fish. That means they accumulate almost no mercury. You can eat sardines regularly without living with that constant worry of whether eating too much will cause problems. And here is something many people overlook. Sardines contain vitamin D and calcium in a form that is easy to absorb, thanks to their soft, arable bones. After the age of 60, the real danger of a fall is not the fall itself. It is bones that are no longer strong enough to handle the impact. Sardines do not make you younger, but they help make sure your bones do not betray you. On top of that, sardines provide vitamin B12, a nutrient that becomes harder to absorb as we age. When B12 is low, you are more likely to feel tired, forgetful, and as if your mind is not as quick as it once was. Sardines help fill that exact gap. But there is still one more fish to go, one that is considered the gold standard for people over 60. If you choose the right version of it. Number 1, the best fish for people over 60, wild-caught salmon with Alaska. As the top choice, if there is only one name you remember after this video, remember this one. Not all salmon is the same. Farmed salmon and wild-caught salmon are two completely different worlds. Wild-caught salmon, especially from the cold waters of Alaska, offers 3 key benefits for people over 60. First, it provides a complete omega-3 profile, including EPA and DHA. This is fuel for the brain. It supports memory, focus, and helps the brain resist aging more effectively. It is no coincidence that people whose diets are rich in DHA tend to stay mentally sharp for longer. Second, it reduces inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation does not only cause joint pain, it is linked to heart health, blood vessels, and long-lasting fatigue. Wild salmon helps calm that inflammatory response, gently but consistently. Third, and this is something very few people talk about, wild salmon contains a natural antioxidant. Its naturally pink-orange color is a sign that the fish has eaten the right food in its natural environment. This compound helps protect cells from what you could call biological rust, the process that causes the body to age from the inside out. And here is the key point. Wild-caught salmon contains significantly lower levels of toxins compared to farmed salmon. For a body over 60, this is not a small detail. It is the difference between nourishing your body and adding an extra burden to it. So now you have seen the full picture. This is not about whether you eat fish or not. It is about which fish you eat and why you eat it. The 3 best fish do not perform miracles, but when you choose them correctly, they help your body do what aging slowly makes harder. Preserve muscle, reduce inflammation, protect the brain, and maintain independence. The question now is not, do you eat fish? The real question is this: will you keep eating out of habit, or will you eat with understanding? This is not about food. This is about keeping control. Let me say this as clearly as possible. Aging itself is not what takes away your memory. Aging is not what makes your joints stiff faster. And aging is not what slowly steals your independence. Repeated choices are what do that. Every week, When you place a piece of fish on your plate, you are sending a message to your body. Either repair and restore, or keep enduring. The three worst fish you just heard about do not harm you right away. They do something more dangerous. They wear you down slowly, just fast enough that you do not react, and quietly enough that you blame it on age. And the three best fish do not promise miracles. They do just one thing, but they do it extremely well. They reduce inflammation, protect the brain, preserve muscle, and help your body avoid sliding downhill as fast as it otherwise would. The difference is not in how many years you live. It is in how you live those years. You can still walk confidently without fearing a fall. You can still clearly remember conversations and familiar faces. You can still make decisions about your own life instead of letting your body decide for you. But that does not happen by luck. It comes from small, correct decisions, repeated over time. So do not try to change everything today. Just do this one thing. Next week, replace one dangerous fish with one healing fish. Just once. Then the following week, do it one more time. Your body will recognize the difference before you even find the words to describe it. If this video helped you see something more clearly than before, tap like so I know you chose understanding over habit. Share this video with a friend or a family member over 60 who still believes that eating fish is automatically good enough. You may be helping them avoid a mistake they have been making for years. And if you want to keep receiving clear, no-nonsense guidance, things you can actually apply in daily life, subscribe to the channel. Before you go, I want to ask you one final question. Not to answer me, but to answer yourself. After everything you have just heard, will your next meal look the same as before? Or will it be the first step toward protecting your health, your memory, and your independence for longer? Leave your answer in the comments. I read and respond as much as I can. You deserve to age with clarity, stability, and the power of choice. And your best years are still ahead of you.